Are you stoking your inner fire? Are you sharing that with the world? Are you living in your unique purpose? The fancy way of saying sacred purpose is Dharma. And our astrology natal charts is essentially a life map, a blueprint of our soul's inherent sacred purpose. And there are three houses in the natal chart that are Dharma houses. And they just so happen to be the three fire houses. And that is the first house, the house of your unique identity and the way you show up in the world and your leadership style, how people perceive you, and how you take on projects and go about things. Your fifth house, which is your creative self expression, what brings you joy and what is a talent of yours. It's usually what you love to do as a child, what you would probably do for free, and just a natural innate ability within you, the way you shine. And often they say it's really deep that the fifth house is the skills we carry from past lifetimes. So it's the talents we bring in from other incarnations. So it's very, very important to be exercising this. And then the ninth house, which is connecting to something greater than oneself, a higher belief system, a higher ethical framework, and a greater mission that contributes to the collective. And so, what I find in my practice as a consultant working with individuals, teams, etc., is that people are rarely firing on all three cylinders. And my theory is that because there's maybe a lack of awareness of these three areas, or people get off track somehow, there can really lead to depression because that inner flame is not fully, that pilot light within us is not fully lit. And they say fire is the element we can share without losing any of our own. So that fire is like what really drives us and what really makes us inspired and inspiring. So, to give an example, I'll often see people maybe in careers or professions or lifestyles that are connected to their mission and a belief system that they connect to, but they're not fully exercising their creativity within that. For instance, a person who really cares about the environment and works within a corporation that does hazardous waste cleanup, but they're not fully expressing their creativity within that role. And it's not only always necessary to completely pivot or find a different career path, sometimes it's just activating your unique gifts and potency and identity within what you're already doing within that organization in a new way and breathing new life into it. And this really can ignite and reignite your passion. The other thing I find, I just had a client where this was the case, is someone that is operating in their fifth house creativity and their identity, but they're not connected to a greater purpose outside of that. So it can almost feel like what they're just doing is for fun or entertainment. I had a client who has his own adventure company and he shares with the world one of his hobbies from childhood and something he's really good at and loved to do as a kid, and it sustains him, and materially he is set. But he came to me and said something is not fulfilled, and I immediately knew it was that ninth house area of connecting it to a greater cause outside of just, okay, this is fun and it's me. And we created a life map career blueprint for him to branch into what his greater sacred purpose is, which is teaching and mentorship. And he was already kind of exercising that within his company, but we found a way, an offering he can create with his company where he's working with teenage boys and providing structure and mentorship for them within his pre existing framework. And I helped him with the branding and development of that new pathway. And so, if you're at a point in your life where either you're just not at all connected to your dharma, or maybe you are fulfilled on some of those levels, but you really want to harmonize all three, work with me. I work with not only individuals, but I also work with visionary companies and even corporations to boost the overall alignment within their teams. And also just create fun workshops that help people connect to each individual's unique aptitudes, gifts, and potencies, and how they can apply that to their shared mission. It leads to not only greater cohesion within teams, but greater reigniting of the passion that led them to that position in the first place. So if you'd like to work with me, go to life-map.org and you can see my offerings and where we can help you lead from a soul level place and feel completely fulfilled in your purpose. I hope you have a beautiful day.